Hi, this is world's fastest hypnotist Sean Michael Andrews, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos. On 27 December, the United Press International ran a story in which they claimed a 71-year-old Catholic priest was hypnotized by a gypsy woman and convinced to give her all the collection money for the Christmas season to the tune of 1,800 euros, or approximately 2,000 US dollars. When he came out of hypnosis and realized what had happened, then he reported the crime. That's the story that UPI is running. Now, we see these stories about once or twice a year, and they usually follow a familiar theme. A criminal, usually identified as a gypsy or Roma, hypnotizes a victim and gets that person to hand over a lot of money. Now, what usually happens is we find out that no hypnosis was involved at all. In fact, usually the criminal used trickery to get the other person to hand over the money, or sometimes the victim is actually in on the scam and just pretends to be hypnotized. Now, I don't think that's what happened here. The victim is a Catholic priest, and they tend to be a bit more honest than your average Joe, so I don't think that's what happened here. Now, the story says that the priest was 71 years old, so could he possibly have been tricked into handing over the money? That's my guess. Elderly people are often preyed upon by criminals because they tend to be more trusting, and sometimes they can be fooled easier. So that's my best guess. You see, in order for this crime to have taken place the way UPI reported it, you need three essential elements. One, you need a very, very good hypnotist. Few hypnotists are able to hypnotize people against their will. It's a specialized talent, and very few hypnotists have it. So this would be rare. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 hypnotists could pull that off. And of course, they have to be a criminal. Okay, the second thing you need is you need a highly hypnotizable victim. You see, most people can't be hypnotized against their will. Maybe 1 out of every 500 or 1 out of every 1,000 people can succumb to hypnosis against their will. So that's pretty rare too. Now we're really getting into some pretty heavy odds. And the third essential element that you have to have for this thing to work is the victim has to accept a hypnotic suggestion that is against his best interests. And one of the safety valves in hypnosis is that people won't do that. You can hypnotize somebody against their will if they're really, really a good subject, but they're still not going to do something that's against their moral, religious, or personal values. So for those three reasons, I'm saying there's no hypnosis going on here. Now let's take a look at the video. All right, we can see her outside the church.
Berretto e cappotto nero, modi cordiali, viso gentile. Eccola mentre entra a Santa Giustina. Le immagini immortali.
And here she enters the church.
Che ieri pomeriggio è entrata in chiesa e ha raggirato un frate della basilica rubando tutti i soldi delle offerte di Natale.
And the priest walks into the frame.
Il parroco per ordinare delle messe. L'anziano frate gentilmente le ha risposto che era lui a tenere il registro.
Era salito in camera a prendere.
Now, he seems to be moving fairly well, but he's also hunched over. He's an elderly man, and criminals often prey on the elderly because they tend to be more trusting, and if their minds are failing, they could be fooled a lot easier than someone in their prime. I'm not saying for sure that's what happened here, but the person being interviewed is a younger priest.
Terminato il vespro, il mio confratello, padre Andrea, che è anche il cassiere che riceve le messe,
You don't see You don't see the victim on camera speaking, so it's a little difficult to judge what his state of mind is. But we know he was 71, so probably more vulnerable than a younger fellow. So there you have it. My professional opinion is there was no hypnosis involved here. If you'd like to learn more about hypnosis, please check out some of my other videos. And please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a video. The button's right here. Thank you very much.